Good morning. Yes, it is. It's just past 9:30 in the morning. I'm here at Środa Miasto station, which is on a preserved narrow gauge railway line between here and Zaniemyśl, which is 14 kilometers long, used by commuters and train enthusiasts alike. So let's go ride the line. But before I got on the train, I took a look around the station and found that there was a train shed where they cleaned the steam train I would be catching today. I also found that inside of the ticket office there were lots of artifacts from the railway. But the most unique part of this station was that the platform had a very nice wing-shaped canopy and had lots of flowers growing on it. Soon enough, the station started to get busy as the locomotive was coupled to the front of the carriages, so I found a seat on board, and soon enough, we were moving. So here's a map of existing request stops and train stations on this narrow gauge railway line, starting at Środa Miasto station and then continuing down with stops at Środa Wąskotorowa, Środa Kipa, Słupia, Annopole, Śnieciska, Płaczki, Polwica and ending at Zaniemyśl, with one disused station on the way at Dobroczyn. Right, so this is our first stop here at the station called Środa Wąskotorowa, which was used mainly for exchanging goods between freight trains. That's our first stop. Let's move on to the next. Now it's very interesting to look at people. We're going like, wait, what's this steam train doing in the middle of our street? Well, we're heading right now onto a beautiful viaduct where we're going to get some really nice views. I can't wait. And the viaduct actually passed over another railway line, so I can only imagine how jealous passengers in those trains would be of the breathtaking views surrounding us. But only a minute later, we had to slow to a halt at a level crossing, which cut through Poland's very busy National Road 11. Now we've stopped because you can see that the fireman is going to the front of the train to stop all the cars at the level crossing because there's no barriers. And then we can continue down the railway to the next station. The tracks ran along a road, and it became very clear that there were people in cars chasing the train as it made its way down the line, because it was very easy to drive from one level crossing to the next. Hello and welcome to Słupia Wielka, another train stop. You hear I said train stop. No, I'm not wrong. It's not train station, it's train stop. It's got just a little shelter over there, a platform that's really integrated with the wildlife around it, a little track that's no longer used clearly, that was used before by freight trains. And yes, so this is a train stop, not a train station, and that's how most of the stations on this railway look, apart from the termini. We just passed Annopole station for some reason without stopping, but fun fact about it is that it has the newest platform on the entire restored railway. Good to know. We then passed another train stop called Płaczki, which is most likely a very rarely used request stop. Give it up, gonna be all that's gonna be. Right, so similar to the previous station we actually stopped at, Śnieciska also has a little shelter. Never seen a shelter like that before. It looks very old-fashioned, and it also has a freight train track on the side which branches out when you approach the station. course, freight trains don't run here anymore. Let's continue. This is really good fun. And then we continued down the line for a couple of minutes until we reached the terminus station, Zanyemyshl. When I got off the train, I was kindly given the opportunity to go inside of the locomotive to see just how hot it was inside.
Gorąco.
Gorąco.
Teraz jeszcze bardziej.
Now you can see that the train is going to a set of points where it's going to come back to the other end of the train, so it's going to connect there so that it can take the train or the carriages back to Środa Wielkopolska. It's become less busy now. The train is going to be going back to Środa Wielkopolska at 12 o'clock, so we've got 50 minutes to explore. There's not much to see at the station because it's closed, so you can't go inside the waiting room. So we're going to go into town for some ice cream. Let's do it.
Give it up, gonna be all that's gonna be. Give it up, gonna be alright.
Alright, we've made it back to the train. We're going to go onto the same carriage we were on. We're going to ride back to Środa Wielkopolska.
Żeby jeździć na plan, nie?
Before I knew it, we were back on the rails, speeding through the beautiful greenery. And yes, there was time for buying merchandise from the railway, so I got myself a very nice cup. Can't wait to have some good English tea in it when I get back home. What was different about this journey was that a group of people actually got off the train at one of the train stops, and a couple of people got on. As we approached the viaduct, we were lucky enough to pass an actual railway train. And then I had another opportunity to look out of the train at the beautiful views as we passed over the viaduct. The time flew by very quickly, and soon the train was nearing where we had started today, at Środa Miasto station.
Ale nie wiem,
There's the steam engine right behind me. That's the end of today's incredible journey on this narrow gauge railway. I hope you enjoyed the video. Press subscribe and like. Have a good day.